It's the final week of the regular season in the Pac-12. And tonight from Tempe, the Arizona State Sun Devils continue their NCAA tournament push as they host last year's conference champion, the Washington Huskies.
Thing that is at the forefront of everybody's mind and thought at all times.
And it's likely that they will make the NCAA tournament, not a given, but they're headed that way. And if they do, it'll be the first time since the 60s that Arizona State has made it to the Big Dance 3 straight years. And we're going to have Joe Lunardi join us here shortly to talk more about that. There's the starting five for ASU. Remy Martin, Rob Edwards, Kamani Lawrence, Romello White, the top rebounder in the conference. And Mickey Mitchell is going to be key in the high post against that 2-3 Washington zone. A foul on the opening possession.
Conference of Champions.
So does he. So does he.
Wait, are they the same teams?
They are the same 17. What do you think? He's got Washington State in or something?
Please do not mess with the Cougars.
They're not in, though.
The Cougars are coming. I tell you, the Gila monsters are going to escape from their cages. They're coming down here after you.
Where's Richard Jefferson or Mark Jackson or Doris or anybody else? Mike Schmitz, save us.
Please, from ourselves. Great pressing here because Arizona State, they want to get things going up and down. Washington, they're the bigger, stronger team. They want to control it. They want to power it inside. And Remy's playing defense with his face. Not a good idea. I'm a personal example of that. Oh, great behind the back. Marcus Haynes, Meadowlark.
And wow, with 2 on the timer, Hamir Wright drills a three-pointer. Team this year.
This is one of the most interesting teams in all of the land, Washington. So much talent. Depth. We got an 8-man rotation.
Wow. Remy Martin.
Remy. Face.
That's Trae Young. That's harder.
Illustrate the post-feeding difficulties for these Huskies. Woof, woof, woof. Quade Green, who hasn't played in 2 months, still has 21 more assists than the next leading Husky. Woof.
Rob Edwards drains a 3, is 68th. He's number 3 in the conference in that category. Out there, academically ineligible. It's possible he could be back for the Pac-12 tournament, though, because the quarter ends, the winter quarter ends next week.
Great tip out by Romello. Push the ball, Sun Devils. Stick a fork in them.
Remy Martin fouled on the drive.
One of 2 key players for Bobby Hurley who have already had back surgery. Have you had back surgery?
Have not.
Would you like this play? Put me in, coach.
No medication yet. 1,000 energy chews.
I'm ready to go.
Prior to tip-off.
I have to eat.
Caffeine isn't food.
Great. Attack that press. Oh, Hamir Wright.
Here's McDaniels for 3. Off the mark. He's shooting 34% from there. The putback, though, you see the power of Washington.
Fantastic on and off the court. And we're just looking forward to a magnificent, marvelous career. And I'm so happy for Alvin Gentry. You couldn't ask for a finer human being. Tease him, Remy. Tease him, Remy. Remy's parents who are here today. And not here, but they'll be in Las Vegas with the rest of the Martin clan.
6 of the 10 points for Arizona State scored by Remy Martin, who's averaging close to 20 per game, which is second in the conference. He has 16 20-point games this year. That leads the league. Good pass by Hardy to the corner. Wright knocks down his second 3-ball.
What an great point guards from Oakland, California.
2 buckets for Isaiah Stewart. We're tied at 12.
Yes!
3 for Edwards, his second triple already.
Oh, and this raucous crowd here filling this magnificent arena. The pace, absolutely spectacular. The ball fake leading to your own shot. That's Larry Bird. That's Pete Maravich.
Turnover by Washington. Here's Martin giving it up. Cherry for 3. And he was fouled by Hardy. Going to be 3 free throws as Hardy picks up his second personal foul.
And ESPN will be super happy.
Tayshaun Cherry at the line shooting 3 free throws after Elijah Hardy committed the
line.
23%.
Okay, there you go.
So you've been reading the game notes. At least we've covered that.
Who has the ability to be a star. But as an undersized player, as is the entire front court, he's our
and then
don't come around my dog pound.
Look at Stewart run the floor too. He blocked the shot, and he was the first guy down the court calling for the ball.
Does that all the time, and you have to get it to him. Nice.
Bird with a pass, no bucket for White, but it will go to the line for 2.
Well, Coach Wooden made it very clear that if Bill Walton and Jamal Wilkes didn't get the ball every time, the rest of you guys are coming out. Encourage all young players to go and watch old game films of Akeem Olajuwon. That guy, one of the 5 greatest centers in the history of all basketball.
Only 2 players have won MVP and Defensive Player of the Year in the same year, Michael Jordan and Hakeem Olajuwon. Giannis Antetokounmpo is trying to do it this year for the Milwaukee Bucks.
He's remarkable, and his whole team is remarkable. Their front court is going to have to be better if they're going to beat the Lakers, if that matchup comes true.
Or the Clippers. 8-0 run. Edwards.
Down! Rob Edwards.
10 straight points by the Devils.
This is like a boxing match here, man. These guys walking around just flexing and posing. Oh my gosh. College basketball, Conference of Champions at its best. Last 2 years in the Pac-12, Arizona State's 15-4 coming off of losses. Best in the whole Conference of Champions.
And one of those losses was last week. They lost back-to-back games at SC and UCLA. 3 goes for Carter.
Won all those games in a row. The only losses they've had at Oregon and here at Arizona State. What a team, what a turnaround, what a great story. As great a story as I'm aware of.
Carter hits another 3, so Washington back within 4 and a timeout on the floor.
Conference with the most NCAA men's basketball titles. Conference with the second most number of NBA players ever. This is the breeding ground for the future of everything good. Great ball movement. Beautiful, beautiful.
White will go to the meeting. We'll see what happens Saturday, 6 Eastern.
Okay, so while we're celebrating here, and this is our last game here at Tempe, let's give credit to Grant Fogarty here. The baby, he's not related to John, but we give all the credit to Grant for bringing up the song inspiration. Tonight it's Hey Tonight, Traveling Band, and Center Field. Grant Fogarty, a high school star at Desert Mountain High School locally.
Birds with the steal, and then it's batted away, but it ends up in the hands of Edwards.
Grant is an honor student in economics and business here, and he's what makes this conference so special.
Wow, how about that block by Isaiah Stewart? He gets the rebound after White missed again, but man, those are 2 grown man blocks by Stewart.
And when you look at this team, it's trained by Todd Tukin, the great strength and conditioning coach for them. Let's get it going up and down.
Bay drives and kicks it out. Here's Hardy up top.
Let it fly, Tyler Bay.
Or Jamal. He missed it, rebounded by Edwards.
I'm just going to call him Hudson.
3-pointer is good for Edwards. He's knocked down 3 already here in the first half.
During the practices that we get to go to.
Shot clock down to 5. Here's Sahonis. They pulled his red when Quade Green was out, and Sahonis has played well. Knocks down the 3 there.
Basketball stars from there. I am just so jealous of either Jimi Hendrix or Carlos Santana here.
Here's White.
Beautiful back cut.
Verge.
Whoa!
Counted and a foul.
Alonzo Verge, the leading candidate for 6th man of the year in the Conference of Champions. Pressured mightily by Cody Riley. Jaden McDaniels, he would be in the conversation, but when you lose all your games, it's kind of tough to get the league-wide honors.
Definitely a foul there on Stewart.
Joe, the troll from Philly.
Joe Lenardi, he's up next. He's coming.
No way.
You had Mr. Agreeable. You had Richard Jefferson last week.
For the Sun Devils.
Burge, tough shot, would not fall, and knocked out to Sahonis. Washington has taken 12 threes and only 9 twos. And look at again, Stewart running the floor, getting the dunk.
With the exception of Alton Lister.
Really?
You heard of Alton Lister?
Of course, that's why I said I was sarcastic. As Burge.
Sure.
Asked me questions all these years.
Sure. What do you got, Joe?
How many national championships? 0. And you know what
0.
else? You know what else is 0?
What?
The number of times Diego State, if it wins the Mountain West, is clearly going to stay on the top line. I don't see the NCAA backing away from that.
One of the great things about the Aztecs is they play offense.
Yeah, they didn't play offense today until about the last 12 minutes.
I've heard some songs about Wichita.
Does that mean you agree or disagree?
I have no comment on something I don't know anything about. Please. That's why I'm challenging Joe Lenardi here, because I don't think he knows anything about the Conference of Champions.
He has 7 teams in. That's as many as you have in.
Throw it down there, Tayshaun.
Gets it to roll in. 5-point lead for Arizona State.
Joe, wait, there's an L on the end.
It's French for son.
I'm a phonetic pronouncer, okay?
Count the bucket there. So how,
sit that way.
Well, they're wrong too.
Oh, now listen to you sitting there on your gilded throne with your ornate light. You and your betting on fantasy sports.
He slipped there. Shot clock down to 5. Sahonis sees it.
That's called great defense by Tayshaun Cherry.
Hoists it. And short. Offensive rebound, though. Hardy. It did hit the rim, so they get a reset at 20 seconds.
Yeah, that ball.
They throw it right at Stewart's head again. He makes the catch and is fouled.
First ever Chinese champ,
Zhang Weili.
her strawweight belt against Joanna on pay-per-view.
Yim Jae-chuk.
Value card that you get for your solar energy bill.
If you go to English Plus, you're probably not going to find it.
Explain the connection and how it all rolls into one. I'm more than happy to. Just don't interrupt me when you ask me for the explanation. Please. And don't be afraid.
McDaniels, tough shot, but it goes down for his first field goal.
Shades of Kevin Durant, and they have the lead. You who have buried these Huskies, they've come growling, roaring back. Huff, huff. Sun Devils up against it right now. They've had their own fork turned around and pushed right into their sternum.
Here's Verge, knocks down the three. Boy, how good has he been off the bench for ASU this year. And keep in mind, you heard Joe Lunardi say that it's not a given that Arizona State is in, so this is a big game tonight against Washington.
Nothing's for certain. It can always go wrong.
Verge again, back-to-back threes by Alonzo Verge.
Extended zone by the Huskies. Huff, huff. Don't come around my dog food bowl. My dog food bowl, excuse me.
Here's Verge driving, gets the basket. Wow, is he taking over here late? 8 straight points by Verge. 4-point lead. The clock is moving here. 4 seconds to go. Bay has, a foul is called a Mitchell. They did have one to give, though. So it doesn't cost him. It's just the 16th foul. 2.3, Washington.
Not in that situation.
We'll see if Arizona State is smart here. McDaniels throws it up, almost banked it in right in front of Bobby Hurley.
What a great first half here.
E-Trade halftime report coming up.
Out.
As Joe Lunardi told us when he was on with us in the first half, it's not a guarantee that Arizona State is in. Right now, they are a team that has a bye, according to one of the last teams to get a bye, according to Joe. Here's a three that goes for Sahonis. That's the 7th-3 for the Huskies. I don't know, you say I had a silver spoon in my mouth, so maybe nobody told me that.
Well, you sure act like nobody ever told you that.
Here's Mitchell, the white underneath.
Throw it down, Romello. Throw it down.
His first hit, if fans wanted a traveling violation. He has struggled. He is just 1 for 8, McDaniels from the floor.
Have you read this book?
What a pass by White and a dunk by Lawrence.
You.
Here's Sahonis, scooped with the left, won't fall, rebounded by...
Come on, Mickey, push that ball. Mickey, one of 9 children. All of their names begin with M.
Lawrence, and they're going to call a foul as well. It was a late call. Count the bucket, and 1.
On the leadership abilities that children and adolescents have played in major historical events. And the crescendo is the force.
Forcing turnovers, getting out in transition, good guard play. They need better rebounding from their guards. That's one thing he's going to look for here down the stretch.
He just turned it over like that. Give it to the other team.
Carter, great spin and finish.
What a game. Thanks.
You're asking me as if I wouldn't be watching this game.
From listening to you, I can't believe that we're watching the same game.
Bay puts it up. It won't fall, but he'll go to the line. 8th and final playoff spot.
They're in the 9th spot right now, Sacramento. Not that I know.
And with
that's Friday night. Milwaukee and Lakers Friday night
on ESPN. And Lakers
tomorrow night. Overtime, please.
Romello White underneath, goes up on Stewart and puts it in.
Best play of the night, Romello.
It's been a rough year for Carolina, under 500, but they played well against Duke. Duke was down 10 with 2 minutes to go in the first meeting in regulation. Sent it to overtime.
They have 11 between them. How many does UCLA have by itself?
I understand, but one in the last 25 years for you.
There's a good friend of mine, Nate Thurmond, and Maurice Lucas. And then Chris, yes, an incredible shining star. Oh, what kind of foul is that?
It's a foul.
5-minute meeting.
I was here the entire time.
His mom Candy.
What are you talking about?
Monty, Mandy, and Missy.
Thank you. All right. Bay gets a second free throw. Imagine his life as well. Martin with the scoop, won't fall.
Look at that rebound in the outlet. Push the ball, Jaden.
Got it ahead. That's a nice pass by McDaniels. That's going to count. Goaltending on Cherry. Count the basket.
Another bottle. We're on our 3rd.
He's got just 6 points tonight. Got caught in the air. Almost turned it over.
Thank goodness for Alonzo Verge.
Verge spinning. Scoring. 13 now for Verge.
Alonzo Verge played. One of my favorite players in the entire Conference of Champions.
5-point Sun Devil lead. 7.5 minutes in.
Whoa.
Carter.
Whoa. Come on.
He's shooting 37%.
Field goal percentage and plus minus.
What about three-point shooting, considering the way that the game is now?
That's part of
how the
field
NBA
goal.
is now.
That's part of field goal percentage.
I understand that, but
Okay.
it's also
So that's
that
what
by
I said.
itself as Terry puts it in.
I love the three-point shot, especially the ones that go in.
Carter driving on Edwards, and Carter leans in.
Tell you, this is the best I've ever seen Isaiah Carter play. Cut him off, please.
Isaiah Stewart posting up, calling for the ball. They get it to him. Do that more often. Isaiah Stewart with the throwdown.
Really?
So years from now, it's not going to matter where he got picked. He's going to be an excellent NBA player.
I suggested he goes to LeBron's team or Milwaukee.
Well, if he goes in the late first round, he might.
Mickey
hand by
Mitchell
Mitchell.
again.
Stewart with a nice catch and a
So
slam.
down.
Wow.
Power, strength, determination, focus, commitment. What a game.
18-4 Husky run over the last 7 minutes. The defense for Washington has been much better too.
6 times this year. Terrible cross-court pass.
Carter to steal the stuff, and the Huskies are up 4. Timeout Bobby Hurley. And his team is up 4. They were trailing by 12, 61-49. But Arizona State without a point over the last 4 minutes. And the Huskies lead by 4. Edwards, though, comes back with another 3. That's his 4th. That's 1 for 9 from three-point land.
Somebody cut him off, please.
He's taking a lot of poor shots tonight. Here's White in the paint, goes up and is fouled. He'll go to the line.
But, hey, you got team honors, you got individual honors, and the player of the year is the top one.
I think the votes might already be Peyton Pritchard, not only a conference player of the year candidate, but a national player of the year candidate. For the Wooden Award, for the Naismith Award. I think he's got a great chance.
Is relentless. Great defense by Mickey Mitchell.
Good passing by Washington. Carter 3, no good. There is McDaniels back up, yes. And a foul for Jaden McDaniels. See McDaniels there after he made the free throw. Put the ball on the ground. Just put it on the ground. Hold on. Actually, you're onto something here.
No. English is my 5th language. Stammering, stumbling, spitting, and one that I forgot because I have no memory.
All right, inside 4 minutes to go.
Let's go.
By 1. This is where the Huskies have fallen apart over the course of the season. But tonight will be different. McDaniels with a 3 out of the timeout.
Learn more from a 3-minute record. That's a hand check there.
So
Put
4
2
on,
hands on the guy facing.
and that's 4 on Cherry, and it's the 19th foul, so it'll be a 1-and-1 for Jaden McDaniels, 75% foul shooter.
What development. What poise. This guy's 18 years old. What were you doing when you were 18?
You're 18. and that was at age 28 as well, right? As far as I remember.
Who? Who doesn't have anything? Mark Emmert or Joe?
Neither. Neither are part of the selection committee.
Mark's the head of the NCAA. He does whatever he wants.
Oh, stop.
And when he wants our opinion, he'll give it to us.
He doesn't pick the teams in the field.
Oh,
there's
Dagger!
23
Game
points
winner.
for Isaiah
Game winner
Carter.
right there.
Ties a career high with 23.
This is heartbreaking for the Sun Devils.
Burge for 3.
Right back! Stick a fork in the Bobby Hurley calls a timeout. Behind Jaden McDaniels with an S, Elijah Hardy. And Mike Hopkins has found a rotation that works. And this is just an unbelievable turnaround. Rob Edwards enters again. How many timeouts?
On Devils, they are out of timeouts.
And a beautiful up-court pass, Jaden McDaniels. That's why you have a big man inbound that ball there, and a foul on Alonzo Verge. That's all.
Won it last year, and the pressure is to go further than you did last year in the NCAA tournament, which was the second.
The point is that in college basketball today, the one-and-done guys, they get all the hype, they get all the publicity, they get all the attention, and it's the veteran teams that win the games.
Yep, that's true.
And the championship.
And that's why Washington won last year.
Right.
The veterans they had.
And all those seniors. And how about, it's the same story with Villanova. Oh, my God.
Burge, this game isn't over for. He's staying in the game.
The last time we were here, the Oregon game, they carried 3 players off. Elias Valtunen, Remy, Verge. Now this is just a nightmare situation for the Sun Devils. Great defense. Isaiah Stewart and Jaden McDaniels, co-players of the game.
Edwards knocks it out of bounds. They had 41 at halftime. Washington down 4. Trailed by 12 points in the second half. And the Huskies come all the way back, and they finally close one out here in the Pac-12. They get their first road win in conference play.
And look at how happy the Huskies are. The tails are wagging. Oh my gosh. Conference of Champions down to the end again. The Huskies, what happened to the Sun Devils? They had it at home. Please. So offense wins.
So Arizona State now in a tie with a handful of teams at 7 losses, losing tonight to Washington 90-83. Cal Oregon up next.
Winning on the road. There's nothing like it. The Huskies never seen the dog pound so happy.